Again, here's a chance tonight for Algona to show how much they've improved since that time, and if they're a different team here this season than the one that went 8-17 last season, only got 2 wins in the North Central Conference, and ended up finishing 6 out of 8 teams. Again, Bulldogs, they've had their ups and downs so far this season, but overall have been competitive, and they're going to try to continue that scrappiness here tonight as they get ready to match up with Clarion-Goldfield-Dows. Both teams have finished up their warm-ups here. We're lining up and just about ready to get going here with the national anthem ahead of tonight's matchup. They'll introduce the players here in just a moment as well, with Clarion-Goldfield-Dows and Algona. Actually, both teams wearing relatively similar colors here tonight, both kind of a black and red color scheme, with black the base color on the jerseys and red numbering on both sides here. And we'll take a look at Algona's team, or Clarion-Goldfield-Dows team first, then followed by Algona's team. So while they do
Number 4, Sawyer Miracle. Number 5, Nikki Kappa. Number 6, McKenna Hasty. Number 7, Delaney Swanson. Number 8, Lexi Lane. Number 9, Audie Askelson. Number 11, Carly Lehman. Number 12, Kennedy Turka. Number 13, Lauren Brooks. Number 16, Summer Traub. Number 17, Emma State. Number 18, Michaela Johnson. Number 19, Jordan Rusa. And number 20, Elliot Ennis. The Cowgirls are head coached by Katrina Tierhart, assisted by Laura Odlin, McCoy Rohr, and Karen Staples. And now for your Algona Bulldogs. Number 1, Leslie Price. Number 2, Lily Elsbecker. Number 3, Lillian Etherington. Number 4, Tora Sobla. Number 6, Shay Tilches. Number 7, Maddie Adams and Doris Pena. Number 8, Kinsey Kerrigan. Number 10, Maddie Ray. Number 11, Sophie Digner. Number 12, Taya Ludwig. Number 14, Alicia Heenan. Number 15, Maddie Hilbert. Number 16, Callie Carroll, and number 17, Alayla Perry. The Bulldogs head coach, Samantha Gotti, assisted by Missy Berkey and Kelly Minnie. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of our national anthem.
For volleyball action as they've wrapped up the national anthem here tonight, and we get ready to get Bulldogs looking to score an early season update over the Cowgirls. And that's an early season upset, I should say, as we get ready to go here. Algona will be on the right side of your radio dial. They'll be going from right to left when they serve. Clarion-Goldfield-Dows on the left side, looking down here from our perch, high above the gym here in Algona High School. Again, should be a fascinating matchup here tonight. Which team can set the tone early in this one, and which team is able to avoid those early mistakes that can cost you in games like these. Again, tough road environment for Clarion-Goldfield-Dows to come in, do their first road matchup of the season here tonight. And when we look at Algona out there right now, it looks like they're going to start with Lillian Effrington, Alasha Heenan, Alayla Perry, as well as Maddie Ray, Kaylee Carroll, and Tora Solbach, and then Maddie Hilbert as well. So that is who we'll be seeing here early on for Algona as they go up against the Clarion-Goldfield-Dows Cowgirls. Try to run through their lineup here real quick if we can get a look at those jersey numbers. Clarissa Hasty will be in there. Brooklyn Asklin as well. Indy Johnson on the court to start off the match here for them as well. We'll see Lexi Lane, of course, who we referenced in the pregame. Carly Lehman as well for Clarion-Goldfield-Dows, and Summer Traub here starting off on the court. So we're just about ready to go. Algona serving, again serving from right to left on your radio dial as Maddie Ray gets things started here for Algona, puts it in the air, and we're underway. Serves it towards the back right corner. Clarion-Goldfield-Dows sets up an early touch here, and that's going to be a point for Algona. Starting off this one with a 1 point here for Algona. Might have been a net violation there against the Cowgirls as another serve here. Played cleanly by the Cowgirls. Tipped over the net lightly. Solbach digs for Algona. Tipped up in the air there by Hilbert. Attack by Heenan. Dug out though by the Cowgirls. They'll softly tap it over the net and get it in just inside of that sideline on the near side of the court. Tying it up at 1-1.
Number 5, Nikki Kappa.
That was very soft touch there as Nikki Kappa checks into the ball game. Serving it now is Hasty, the junior. Right-hander sends it over the net, down the center, into the back line for Algona. A nice set to Perry, but on her right-handed swing, she hits it long and out the back of the court. And that'll be a point here for Clarion-Goldfield-Dows. Well, right idea there for Algona. They tried to use Solbach that time to set up Perry on the near side, give her that strong right-handed swing, but just a little bit too much that time. As now on the serve, we're going to get an ace here from Clarion-Goldfield-Dows as look there for Algona that Effrington and Heenan just kind of looked at each other and the ball landed in between them. So little miscommunication here early, and Clarion-Goldfield-Dows out to the 3-1 lead. Price serving it again, sends it back middle. Played cleanly by Algona. They'll set it up here for Effrington. The attack is dug out, but it'll go into the Clarion-Goldfield-Dows sideline, and that'll be a point here for Algona. Initially looked to play it cleanly, but kind of sliced that one off to the side a little bit, well out of play. And Effrington will serve here for Algona. The right-hander with the jump serve, straight down the middle into the back line. Cowgirls set up the attack here. Strong right-handed swing by Traub. Nice save, though, there by Hilbert for Algona. On the other end, punching it in there is Lily Alsbecker. From the near side, she sent that one across the court. Just got it there inside the sideline, just right at the edge of that attack zone. And we are now all tied up 3-3. Effrington, the junior, serves it again. This time she goes back near side. Dig by Hasty. They'll send it up front. A block by Perry, but Clarion-Goldfield-Dows able to dig it out. Hilbert sets it high in the air. Left-handed swing from Elsbecker, and she'll hit it out the back of the court. And that'll be a point here for Clarion-Goldfield-Dows, 4-3. Again, Algona did everything right on that one, but finish is just a little bit too much power that time from Elsbecker. 4-3 lead here for the Cowgirls. Traub on the serve. The right-hander gets it just over the net. That one cleared by a few inches as Algona plays it. They'll send a little soft hit here over the net. Cowgirls set up the attack on the far side. Lane sends a floater, but kind of mishits it there and sends it out of play to the near side. So it'll be side out here for Algona as the senior Hilbert will now serve, and we are all knotted up at 4 apiece. Hilbert serves. It's a line drive towards the far right side. Lane plays it. Now they send it back to Lane. Soft tap over the net. Hilbert sets it up for Perry. And they're going to call 2 hits here against Hilbert. So that's going to be a point for Clarion-Goldfield-Dows. Side out for the Cowgirls. 5-4 lead. Early mistake there for Algona as Lane back on the serve. Right-hander with the jump serve as Hilbert with a dig there, backing away from the play. Goes to Perry. She'll play it over the net to Clarion. They'll set up the attack here. Right-handed hit there from Indy Johnson, and she'll get the point as she was able to dump it in there in front of Ray. Johnson went from the attacking zone on the left side, sent that one all the way across court to the back corner and just in front of Ray that time. Well placed. And a 6-4 lead here for Clarion. As the serve back middle, dig by Hilbert. Kind of goes off target there, but able to track it down as Elsbecker. Algona plays a free ball over the net. Cowgirls set up the attack. A nice dig by Effrington for Algona. Hilbert sets it up. Bumped there by Effrington. And there's going to be no play there for Algona as there was 4 hits on there. Effrington had to scramble towards the far side, almost where the judge is standing at midcourt to try to play it over the net, but wasn't able to get it over, and Algona ends up with 4 hits, so that's a 7-4 Clarion lead as the ball stays high in the air for Perry. Able to get it back to Carroll, who plays it over to the Cowgirls side. Had a soft tap, blocked, double block there by Algona. Tipped back over, though, by the Cowgirls as they keep it alive. Algona now has Perry, sends it over for the right hand, right down the middle of the court as Johnson digs. Now back across the court to Algona. Hilbert sets it towards the front. Left-handed swing there from Elsbecker. A great dig by Asklin, though, for the Cowgirls. They'll play it back over with Kapka. Hilbert digs on the other end for Algona. They'll set up the attack there for Perry. Has to just kind of punch it over. Timing was a little off there for the Bulldogs. Hilbert sets it up. Algona plays a free ball over the net, and that one's going out of play to the far side of the court. Well, that's a very nice rally there between the two teams, but unfortunately for Algona, the Cowgirls come out on top in that one. 8-4 there with a well-earned point. Lane on the serve again. Hilbert the pass up front. Now they'll set up Perry for the soft touch over the net, and she'll score it.
The Bulldog lineup number 1.
Turka and Kapka right at the net that time went for the double block, but Perry just used some great finesse that time just to drop it right over the top and score it for Algona. Side out here for the Bulldogs, 8-5. Clarion-Goldfield-Dows lead as Perry serves. She'll send it down the back middle. Cowgirls set up the attack, a soft tip over. Price, who just came into the game for Algona, plays it up into the air. Now a hard right-handed attack on a score from Kaylee Carroll. Great set that time by Price. Great finish by the junior Carroll. And there's back-to-back points for Algona. They trim the Cowgirl lead here to 8-6. As we play in set number 1. Perry gets ready to serve again. Stands in the center and sends one back towards the near side. Lane passes it towards the front. Now they'll go back to Lane and she'll just have to play it over here to Algona. Now Perry with a right-handed swing sends it over the net. Cowgirls on the attack. Hard right-handed attack there from Johnson. Algona digs. They keep it alive. Sending it over Carroll. It dribbles off the net, and there's a point for Algona. Carroll was able to just eke it over the net that time with her right hand. Kind of glanced off the top and deflected onto the Clarion-Goldfield-Dows side. There's another point for Algona. 3 consecutive here. And the Cowgirl lead 8-7 right now. Perry serves it to the backside. They'll set up Johnson on the attack, and that one is going to be a point there for Clarion-Goldfield-Dows as Algona went for the block there right at the net. That glanced off of one of the Bulldog fingers and went out of bounds there, so that'll make it 9-7 here to lead for Clarion. Carly Lehman back in, and she will now serve here for the Cowgirls. 9-7 lead here in set number 1 as Lehman over to Perry with the dig. They'll set up Carroll on the attack, sends it to the opposite side of the attack zone, and Clarion-Goldfield-Dows all out of sorts there, and that's going to be a point for Algona. Weren't able to get that initial pass set up correctly to anyone. Lehman had to make a mad scramble towards the sideline, and she was unable to salvage anything that time for the Cowgirls. And it is a 9-8 lead right now for Clarion-Goldfield-Dows. Tora Solbach to serve for Algona. Jump serve towards the back near side. Lane digs, set by Lehman. And the attack by Hasty, but she launches it too far, and we are tied at 9. Hasty wasn't really able to swing down on that one. She kind of tried to push it over the net a little bit and ended up airmailing that beyond the back line. And now they're going to reverse that here and give the point to the Cowgirls. Wonder if they're going to say we had a net violation against Algona, perhaps. So they initially gave Algona the point there, but it'll be Clarion instead here, up 10-8. Hilbert digs the Cowgirl serve. Perry now back to Hilbert, plays it over with 2 hands, and we're going to get a point here for Clarion-Goldfield-Dows as 2 hits are going to be called against Hilbert. 11-8. Clarion-Goldfield-Dows as Askelson serves over the net. Algona has Solbach, and we'll get 2 hits again. This time it's going to be called against Solbach. So a couple of early mistakes here for Algona as they'll take a timeout, and just like that, Clarion-Goldfield-Dows has seized the momentum back They take a 12-8 lead as we'll take a timeout as well. Back in a minute here on Hometown Radio. Back here at Algona High School, where we just had a point for Algona from Lillian Etherington, and it's 12-9 here. And Carroll serves for Algona, but she'll send it out the back of the court. So that's a service error for Algona, and Clarion-Goldfield-Dows now the 13-9 lead over Algona here in set number 1. On the serve, Indy Johnson, the freshman, getting some substantial playing time here for Clarion-Goldfield-Dows, and now she'll have a service error of her own. About 2 feet long there over the back line, and it's 13-10 as Algona gets that point.
Ray to serve.
Ray checks in for Price for Algona, and Ray will be on the serve here. The senior sends it straight down the middle, dug there by Johnson. They'll set up the attack for Lane, and she mishits it, and that's a point for Algona. Oh, Lane was going for an absolute kill shot that time, but looked like she just mistimed her jump a little bit there and barely even made contact with the ball, hitting it into her own net. So break there for Algona, 13-11. As Hasty digs the serve, setting it up Lehman, playing it over Lane. Algona digs, Solbach sets, hard right-handed swing is blocked at the net from Etherington, but Algona keeps it alive. Now Perry on the right-handed attack, but a little bit long there and out the back of the court. There's a point for Clarion-Goldfield-Dows. Well, Algona set up a really nice attack there to Etherington initially, but an even better block that time from the Cowgirls. And then that hit from Perry there at the end, just a little bit too much power on it, as you've seen a couple times here so far tonight. 14-11, Clarion-Goldfield-Dows. Slowbox sets up the attack to Perry. Soft touch over the left hand. Nice dig, though, by Askelson. Algona will now set up the attack here for Heenan. She'll play it softly over the net. Cowgirls keep it alive. Johnson, the right-handed swing. Dug out, though, by Ray for Algona. Now the attack from Perry. Sends it across court and scores it. Perry was in that near side attack zone and just aimed for the opposite end of the court that time and found that open space within the Cowgirl defense. 14-12. Cowgirls still hanging on to that narrow lead over Algona. Serve here for Etherington. Free ball over the net from Lane. Algona digs, almost had a collision there. Up to the net to Heenan. She'll punch it over for the right hand. Now the Cowgirls can set up the attack. Lane, the hard left-handed swing. Algona keeps it alive, though. Hilbert pops it up in the air, and we're going to see a two-hit here called against Hilbert once again. We've seen a few of those called here tonight against Algona, including a couple on Hilbert so far. And right now a 15-12 lead for Clarion-Goldfield-Dows. Summer Traub serves it over the net, and Elsbecker accidentally plays a free ball over the net. Back to the Algona side. They're able to get it to the Clarion side now. Hard right-handed attack from the Cowgirls. Algona scrambles. It's a roof ball. They keep it alive, and then Heenan trying to play it backwards over the net with the bump, but couldn't quite keep that one in play. So there's a point for Clarion-Goldfield-Dows. Elsbecker originally on the dig there, just accidentally hit a free ball over that time, and that really threw everything off for the Bulldogs. As Hilbert digs the serve, Algona's going to have to play another free ball over the net with Elsbecker. Dug by Johnson. The attack here from Lane. Hilbert digs, though, for Algona. Nice diving save. Perry puts it over the net, back to the net, and then a soft touch over the net by Nikki Kapka to score it for Clarion-Goldfield-Dows.
Cowgirls.
Well, initially an athletic play there from Hilbert to save the service ace that time, but Cowgirls end up getting the point, ultimately lead it 17-12. And now we're going to see a service error here from Summer Traub as she launches that one well over the back line. And it is 17-13. Carroll back in for Algona. And Hilbert will be on the serve here. Hilbert glances it off the top of the net, but got it over. Another attack from Lane, and she's able to push it past Hilbert for the score. Great left-handed swing from Lane that time once again. Just went right after Hilbert there in that back line of defense, just off to her left, and Hilbert wasn't able to dive and save that one. So it's 18-13, the Clarion-Goldfield-Dows lead here. Cowgirls on the serve. Askelson sends it near side to the back line for Algona. They set up Carroll. She'll play it softly over the net. Now Lane. Lane with the right-handed swing, and that one is long and out of play to the back.
The Bulldog lineup, number 1.
So Bulldogs will get a much-needed point there.
Perry to serve.
18-14, the Cowgirl lead. Perry on the serve. Price into the game for Algona. Here's Perry. Sends it towards the back near side. A nice running save there by Lane. She'll send it up front to Askelson. Algona plays it softly over the net. Nice touch there from Elsbecker. Another attack. It's blocked, and that's a point for Algona. Carroll and Price that time went up for the double block for the Bulldogs. I believe Price got most of that one and just absolutely rejected it at the net. Point for the Bulldogs. 18-15, the Clarion-Goldfield-Dows lead. Little knuckleball serve there from Perry. Clarion able to play it, though, over the net, and there's a score that time. As Turka gets the kill on that one. Got it right over that front line for Algona, able to drop it in there perfectly to make it 19-15.
Lehman to serve.
Lehman into the game for the Cowgirls to serve. The junior bounces the ball a few times with her right hand, spins it on her palm and puts it up. And it's mishit there initially by Elsbecker. Perry able to save it though. Back to Elsbecker over the net. Cowgirls set up the attack. Hard right-handed swing, aiming for the back corner, but missing that time is Swanson. And that'll be a point for the Bulldogs. 19-16 as Algona trying to claw their way back into this one. Down 17-12 a few minutes ago. They've got it back down to 3. Solbach will be on the serve here as Elsbecker takes a seat on the bench for Algona. Solbach for the jump serve, puts it down the middle. Askelson with the dig. Now a soft touch over the net, and that one is out of play towards the far side, and Algona will get the point there. Well, I believe that was Turka just kind of trying to finesse that one over the net. Drop it right on that sideline, but unable to do so. Missed out there by about a foot. And Algona cuts the Cowgirl lead to 2. It's 19-17. Solbach serves again. Good backspin on that one as Lane digs. They'll set up the attack. Soft touch over the net. And the score for Hasty. Or no, they're going to call a net violation here against Clarion-Goldfield-Dows. I beg your pardon. Hasty got a piece of the net that time, so that'll be a point here for Algona. 19-18, Bulldogs right back in it. Lane digs the serve from Solbach. Bump there from Lehman. Over the net, Perry sets up Solbach now on the attack. Etherington, and she'll launch that one a little bit too far out of bounds on the far side there, so that'll be a point here for the Cowgirls, back up by 2. 20-18 the lead. Askelson serving. Her serve is long, and that one is well out of play. 20-19, Algona back down by 1. Keenan comes into the game here for Hilbert. It'll be Carroll on the serve for the Bulldogs. Very important here on the side out. And we'll get a quick whistle here. Illegal rotation is going to be called against the Bulldogs, so that'll be a point for Algona, and we are tied at 20. Boy, essentially a free point there for Algona. Cowgirls take a timeout. We're tied at 20, and we've got the finish of set number 1 coming your way next after this on Hometown Radio, KLGA. And as we come back here on Hometown Radio, Algona has just taken the lead. After the side out on that first serve, Algona got a block for their first point. Then another illegal rotation was called against Clarion-Goldfield-Dows. Algona now up 22-20. Bulldogs in the driver's seat now. Price will have to play a free ball over the net. Lane passes it up front. Lehman sets it up, and there's a point for Clarion-Goldfield-Dows.
Draw point, Cowgirls.
Traub ends up getting credited for the kill there. And it's a 1-point game now. Algona clinging to that 22-21 lead. The Bulldogs spent most of this first set trailing. Can they steal one here from the Cowgirls? Solbach passes that serve up front. Perry plays it over for the right hand. Dug there by Johnson to Lane. And now Perry puts that one high in the air for Algona. Solbach trying to set something up. Soft touch over the net there by Etherington. Cowgirls keep it alive. Playing it over the net is Hasty. Now Perry. Solbach trying to set it back up for Perry. Takes a long right-handed swing, but done by Askelson on the other end. Now Lane, the two-handed touch over the net. Solbach digs. Hilbert with the set. Right-handed attack that time from Etherington, but dug out by the Cowgirls. Now Lane attacks. Hilbert has it hit off her hands. It hits off the basketball hoop and stays in play. Algona can keep this one alive, and they do. They play a free ball over the net. And now the Cowgirls attack again. Hilbert dives, and she can't save that one. Well, it looked like that point was going to be scored a lot earlier there for Clarion-Goldfield-Dows, but on that initial hit by Hilbert, the ball actually hit one of the basketball hoops that hangs above this court, came back into play and allowed Algona to play it over, but Cowgirls ultimately get the point anyways. As Cowgirls set up an attack here, blocked at the net, Algona gets the point. Hasty was on the attack that time, but Algona blocked it perfectly, and the Bulldogs have a 23-22 lead now.
Ready to serve.
Maddie Ray to serve here for Algona. Up by one. Trying to close this one out. As over the net, and we are tied. Traub able to just get that soft touch over the net, right off the fingertips of that front line for Algona. And we are all knotted up here at 23. Don't forget, you, of course, do have to win by 2, something that could come into play here as we go. Hasty serves, Hilbert digs. Now Etherington over to Perry, and Perry mishits it there, and it goes under the net. Cowgirls take a 1-point lead. It's 24-23. And another timeout's going to be called here by Algona. We'll keep it right here. As, boy, that last sequence just back and forth here between Algona and Clarion-Goldfield-Dows. Algona was able to battle back. They were down by 5 at one point. Ended up taking a 2-point lead of their own, but now find themselves down here by 1 as Clarion-Goldfield-Dows has scored 4 out of the last 5 points. Algona made a few errors early on in the game, got called for a few double hits, but recently Clarion-Goldfield-Dows got called for a few illegal rotations, and that helped give Algona a couple points, get them back into this one, but now the Cowgirls looking to close it out here, up 24-23. Hasty on the serve. Hilbert dives and digs it. Now Perry plays it over with the right hand. Cowgirls set up the attack. Little tap over the net. And is that one in? It is in. And Clarion-Goldfield-Dows will get the point. They'll say one of the Algona players on the front line tipped that one. And Algona loses a tough one here in the first set, 25-23. While the back and forth battle there between the Cowgirls and the Bulldogs ends in the Cowgirls' favor, Algona may look back on that 2-point lead they had. They're up 22-20 and regret not finishing that one off, but they will try to rebound here as we get ready for set number 2. We will take a quick timeout here on Hometown Radio and get you back of set number 2 action coming up next on KLGA. Back here at Algona High School as we get ready for set number 2 between the Algona Bulldogs and the Clarion-Goldfield-Dows Cowgirls. Algona right now trailing 1-0 as they lose in the first set here, 25-23. Just oh so close there. They were up by 20. They were up 22-20, that is. Just had to get a few more points there to win it, but were unable to finish it off, and that's just how tough this Clarion-Goldfield-Dows team is. Again, coming off that North Central Conference win, not only last year, but in 2019 as well. And the Bulldogs here will have to battle back from a 1-0 deficit. If you look back at this matchup between Algona and Clarion-Goldfield-Dows, Algona's last win came during the 2017 season. They took that one 2-0 back on September 19th of that year, so almost exactly 4 years ago at this point. Algona hasn't even won an individual set against Clarion-Goldfield-Dows since their first matchup back in the 2019 season. As on the very first serve, we'll get a service error here from Clarion-Goldfield-Dows, and Algona takes a quick 1-0 lead to start this one off. Lillian Etherington will serve it here for Algona, leading it 1-0. Etherington glances it off the net, it'll go over, and there's a point for Algona. Boy, it looked like the net was going to swallow that one up at first, but somehow, some way, that ball had just enough spin on it to work its way over the net. I don't think anyone on that Cowgirl side thought that one was going to squeak over, and it's 2-0 Algona. Askelson plays a free ball over. Hilbert digs, and now Heenan will have to play it over the net herself. Askelson again back to that front line. Lane with a tap over the double block, and she scores it. That time, Perry and Heenan went up for the double block of the net, but Lane saw it coming from a mile away, and instead of going for the strong right-handed swing, just softly tapped it there over the block and makes it 2-1. Algona still in the lead, though, as that Hasty serves. Now Perry for the right-handed attack, but it's going to be long, and that will tie it at 2. Hasty ready again. Sends it over. That one tips off the net, but Algona able to play it cleanly. Elsbecker to Etherington, back to Elsbecker. It's partially blocked at the net, but it deflects out of bounds away from the Cowgirls. So that'll be a point here for Algona. That looks to be Traub who got a hand on it that time for the Cowgirls, but it deflected backwards and out of play beyond the back line. So 3-2 here will be the Algona lead, as Hilbert serves it up, and she'll serve it right into the net. Service error there will tie us up at 3 apiece. And Cowgirls will get the serve back here as Turka checks in. Askelson sits down, and Traub on the serve. Traub sends it over, and a miscommunication there for Algona as she serves it right in between Perry and Hilbert that time. And Perry says, "My bad" on the communication, kind of patting her jersey there. And she and Hilbert talk it out here, as neither of those two really committed to go after that serve. And Traub goes again, trying to attack that same spot, but this time she'll hit it into the net, and a service there ties us at 4. Boy, she was going for an exact replay that time. You could kind of see it in her body language and in the direction of that ball, sending it, trying to get it in between Perry and Hilbert that time, but just a little bit too low and got into the net. Perry on the serve for Algona, attacking and scoring it on that one is Turka. And the Cowgirls take a 5-4 lead. So neither team taking command here early on in set number 2. Cowgirls have that 1-0 lead, as Lexi Lane will be on the serve here. Lane of the jump serve. Popped high in the air that time by Elsbecker to Etherington. Now sets up Perry. Oh, a nice save there that time by Hasty, as she almost did the splits that time. Askelson plays it over, and then Hilbert can't set anyone up. Hilbert was trying to get that one up front towards Carroll, but put that one a little bit off target, and that's going to be a point there for the Cowgirls, up 6-4. Lane on the serve. The bump from Perry, and Hilbert again will miss-hit it there, and that's going to be 2 hits called against her. Third time we've seen that tonight called against Hilbert. And Cowgirls rattling off a few points here, take a 7-4 lead. Lane serves again. Hilbert will let that one go, and that one will be just out of play along the near side. So that'll be another service error here early on in this one. And Algona will get the ball back. trailing Clarion-Goldfield-Dows 7-5. And we've seen quite a few service errors here early on in set number 2. We'll see what Tora Solbach can do here on the serve for Algona. Does have 7 aces this season, which is tied for second on the team behind Etherington. Cowgirls will have to play a free ball over the net of the lane. Hilbert runs over to the side to play it. Now Price over for Algona, dug out by Askelson. They'll set up the attack for Johnson, blocked at the net. Cowgirls try to keep it alive, and they somehow play it over. Perry accidentally plays it over the net, gets it back though, and she'll hit it a little bit too far out of play to the near side. A knuckleball there from Perry, and that'll be a point for the Cowgirls. Algona had a nice block that time, and the Cowgirls were desperately playing hot potato around the net to try to keep that one off the court, but they somehow successfully did it, got it back to the Algona side, and ended up getting that point. 8-5, Cowgirl lead. Lehman serves. Perry hits that one high up into the ceiling. Now Solbach back to Perry. Perry will hit that one into the net, as that one looks doomed there from the start for Algona. Perry didn't quite set it up the way she wanted it to, hitting it up into those ceiling fans at the top of this gym. Solbach tried to get it back to Perry, but Perry was really all the way back by the end line and couldn't quite get it over the net there with 2 hands. As now on the serve from Lehman, it's going to be long and out of play, and we'll see another service error here. 9-6 is now the Bulldog lead.
Carroll to serve.
And Kaylee Carroll will be on the serve. Carroll tees it up, line drive near side over the net. And a nice attack there, and the score coming from Etherington for Algona. Boy, Etherington didn't waste any time setting up teammates that time. Saw her opening, just attacked, and gets to the point there to make it 7-9. Carroll serves again from the near side. It trickles off the net and goes over. Point for Algona. Askelson tried to dive in and dig that one out, but Carroll just perfectly glanced that one off the top of the net. Algona working their way back into it. It's 9-8. Carroll again sends that one down towards the near back corner. The attack set up here for Hasty. It's blocked at the net. Point for Algona, and we're tied at 9. Heenan and Price both went up for that one. It appeared to be Heenan who swallowed that one on the block. And we are all tied at 9. Emma States checks in now for Clarion-Goldfield-Dows, as we'll see a miss hit here on the serve for Carroll. Kind of yanked it low and off to the left that time, so service error. 10-9, the Cowgirl lead. Askelson here just gets it over the net. Price able to dig it out after the ball glimpsed off the top of the net. Heenan plays it over. Askelson digs. They'll set it up here to State on the attack. Hilbert tries to dig it, hits it far over towards the student section. Solbach somehow saves it, but unable to play it over the net that time is Heenan. Good effort there by Solbach, trying to save that broken play for Algona, but Heenan couldn't quite get it over that time, and it's 11-9 in favor of the Cowgirls. Askelson sends it back middle on the serve. Solbach passes it up front, Etherington, and Price will not be able to get it here for Algona. And 12-9, the Cowgirl lead. I think Price got the net that time as Perry digs the serve. Hilbert sets it up here for Heenan. Plays it towards the back far corner. Dug out though by Askelson. Blocked at the net. Nice play there by Price. Now on the next effort, Price tips it back over the net. Cowgirls are scrambling here towards the back line. And we're going to have 4 hits here called on the Cowgirls. Point there for Algona, making it 12-10. Just a big scramble that time for the Cowgirls as that Price block really set everything up for Algona. Ray serving, sends it back middle. Lane digs. They'll set up the attack here. Right-handed swing from Johnson, and she'll get the score that time as there looked to be a little more miscommunication there from Algona. Johnson able to squeak that one in, kind of right in the center of the court. And no one really committed to that one for Algona. 13-10, the Clarion-Goldfield-Dows lead. Johnson serves, back middle. Nice dig that time by Ray. Hilbert plays a free ball over the net. The bump there from Johnson. They'll set it up to the net. Right-handed attack there, Johnson. Perry will play it over. Askelson towards the front. Now they'll have Johnson play it over again. Dug by Ray on the Algona side. Slomak sets up the attack for Perry, and she powers it home. That time Perry was a little bit more controlled as she went up, and she was able to just get that one inside the end line for the point for Algona and make the score now 13-11. Cowgirls still leading it, but Bulldogs sticking around here in this one. Side out for Algona as Efferington serves it. Little soft touch over the net, and the score from Summer Traub. She was able to just float that one over the block attempt from Algona, and that'll make it 14-11. Side out here for the Cowgirls.
Hasty to serve for the Cowgirls.
Clarissa Hasty on the serve now, 14-11, Clarion-Goldfield-Dows. Hilbert digs for Algona. Efferington sets up Perry, plays it over the net. Now Lane pops that one high in the air towards the Algona side. Hilbert towards the front. Tipped over by Elsbecker. And now it's played over, and the attack, and the score from Heenan.
Kill by Heenan.
So Heenan gets credit for the kill there. I don't think Clarion-Goldfield-Dows meant to play that one over, just got it a little bit too far that time and set it up perfectly for Heenan to play one down the line. 14-12. Algona still trailing as Hilbert towards the back near corner. Dug out by Hasty. They'll set up a little tap there at the net by Traub. Gets it over, though. Now Perry, a little tap of her own right over that front line, but the Cowgirls play it well. Now Lane, right-handed swing, puts it into play for Algona. Perry gets it over the net. Cowgirls set up the attack here. Another hard right-handed swing, but this time Traub launches it out the back left side. And that's a point for the Bulldogs. Make it 14-13. Again, Bulldogs still trailing here, but they've now cut this Cowgirl lead down to 1. Price back in for Algona. As they'll send Ray here to the bench. Algona will take a quick timeout, and we'll take one as well. We're listening to volleyball coverage right here on Hometown Radio, KLGA. Algona on the serve here, trailing 14-13 in set number 2. They trail 1-0 as Lane with a little soft floater over the net, and Algona unable to return it. Perry tried to make a 180 there and race backward to the ball. Got a piece of it, but couldn't really set it to anyone, and that'll be a point for the Cowgirls. 15-13 the lead as Clarion-Goldfield-Dows goes side out here. And their serve will go back middle to Hilbert. She digs. Efferington sets it up front. Attack there coming from Carroll, but Cowgirls are able to dig it out, and they'll call 2 hits now against the Cowgirls. So a point there for Algona, and it's 14-15, just like that. Algona still down by 1. Haven't quite been able to break through here in set number 2, but again, they've just been sticking around, much like they did in set number 1. We'll see if Algona can try to go on a run here. Johnson over the net, and too far. It's over the end line. We are tied at 15. Johnson got a little excited that time, and Perry will get to serve again here for Algona. Perry down the middle. Johnson digs it. It's a little bit out of play, but Lane able to track it down. And playing the free ball over is Askelson. Algona will set up the attack here. Left-handed swing from Elsbecker, and that'll be a point for the Cowgirls as Elsbecker pushed it off to the near side out of play. 16-15 Clarion-Goldfield-Dows as we've gone back and forth here the past couple of points. Lane on the serve now. Lane over, dug by Elsbecker, set up by Efferington, back to Elsbecker, left-handed attack. Lane, though, keeps it alive for the Cowgirls. Now Johnson over the net, Perry. high in the air, up front. The attack here, and the score from Price. Price was able to deflect it sideways off that Cowgirl block. It went out of bounds, and that will tie us up here at 16. And Solbach will get the serve here for Algona. 16 all as we have another exciting set here in number 2. These two teams just trading these punches back and forth. Solbach as Johnson digs it. Played over to Hilbert. Hilbert now to Solbach. Up to the front, little tap, and it's blocked by Clarion-Goldfield-Dows. Carroll tried to play it over there softly, and Cowgirls will get the point here, make it 17-16.
Cowgirl lineup number 7, Swanson, and number 11, Lehman.
Swanson and Lehman check into the ball game here for the Cowgirls. It'll be Lehman on the serve. 17-16, the Clarion-Goldfield-Dows lead as Lehman sends it down the middle. Hilbert digs up to Solbach, and I think we're going to get 2 hits called here against Solbach, and we will. That'll be another point for the Cowgirls. 18-16, now their lead. We have seen that called multiple times here tonight on the Algona setters. As on the serve, too far from Lehman. A couple feet there over the end line, and that'll be a point for the Bulldogs, 18-17. Heenan into the game for Hilbert for Algona. Side out here as Carroll serves. Carroll down the middle to Askelson. She'll dig the set to the far side, Hasty. Hasty plays it over. A nice diving dig by Etherington that time. Now Perry plays the free ball over towards the Clarion side. Little soft tapper over by the Cowgirls. Algona plays it right back over. And now we'll get a point here for the Cowgirls.
Cowgirl lineup number 16,
19-17, the Clarion-Goldfield-Dows lead. Traub in for the Cowgirls. Hilbert back in for Algona, as well as Price. Here's Askelson on the serve, trying to dive for it. Both Hilbert and Solbach, and they got tangled up. Neither one of them could dig that serve. And there's another point for the Cowgirls. Boy, 2 Algona players there just ending up in the exact same spot on the court on just a perfectly placed serve. Now this one goes directly down the middle to Solbach. They set up the attack for Heenan, and she tries to go cross court, but it's too far and out of play. And the Cowgirls here starting to run off the points. They go up 21-17. As they'll take a timeout. Algona will take a timeout, that is, and we'll keep it right here. Well, again, we've seen it just all throughout this set. Clarion-Goldfield-Dows, they've been leading primarily by 1 or 2. Algona hasn't let them get a whole lot further ahead than that, but every time Algona gets it within 1, the Cowgirls seem to manage a run of their own, just as they did right there to go up 21-17. And we've just seen Algona look a little bit out of sorts there. Again, Hilbert and Solbach colliding, trying to receive that serve and play it for Algona. We've seen a couple miscommunications here tonight where Bulldog players have been looking at each other as the ball's dropped in between them, and just a few errors here that you'd expect early in the season and you'd expect from a younger team. But they have come back to cost Algona here, as there have been 2 very close sets so far. Algona losing the first one, and now finding themselves trailing here in set number 2. Solbach up front as Etherington plays it over. Cowgirls trying to keep it alive, and they'll play a free ball to Hilbert. Up front to Solbach, sets it up for Price. Price with the 2-hand touch over the net. Swanson keeps it alive. Now Askelson plays the free ball over back to Hilbert. Solbach with a set, and they'll call 2 hits again on Solbach. There's another mistake there for Algona as Solbach can't believe it. 22-17, the Cowgirl lead. They have gone up by 5 here, right after Algona had gotten it down to a 1-point deficit. Askelson to Perry, bumps it up front, playing it over Etherington. Cowgirls scramble a little bit, and they'll send the free ball over to Hilbert down the middle. Now Solbach sets it up for Price, and we're going to get a lift called here against Algona. Another point for the Cowgirls. They go up 23-17, and the Bulldogs struggling to stop the bleeding here at the end of set number 2. Askelson down the middle of Solbach, up to the front. Etherington tries to set up Perry, but her right-handed swing goes directly into the net. And there's another point for the Cowgirls. 24-17, set point here. Perry that time maybe a little bit too far back. Was kind of leaning back as she tried to attack that one. As Askelson's serve will go into the net, and that'll break up the scoring run for the Cowgirls, make it 24-18. And give Algona the serve back here, but it is an uphill climb here in set number 2 to try to get back into this one. 24-18. And it's up to Ray here to keep it alive for Algona. Serves it down the middle. Cowgirls will set up the attack. Playing it over is Traub. Now Algona sets up an attack of their own. Soft touch over the net by Etherington. Cowgirls keep it alive, though. Another soft play over the net. Bumped by Etherington. Now Solbach sets it up. Perry, the hard right-handed swing. And she weaves it right in between two defenders on the back line for the point for Algona. Again, we've seen Perry overhit the ball a few times early on in this match, but as of late, she's taken a little bit off those right-handed swings, and she's been placing it absolutely perfectly for those last few kills. As now Clarion-Goldfield-Dows will tip it over the double block of Algona, and that'll be the game point. 25-19, Cowgirls take it here in set number 2. And Algona now finds themselves trailing 2-0. As boy, that was just absolutely well set up. Algona tried to keep it alive, but just perfectly tipped over the double block of Algona for the set point. So set number 3 coming up next. Algona will try to stave off elimination, and we'll be back in just a minute right here on Hometown Radio, KLGA. And we are back here at Algona High School, where the Bulldogs have their back against the wall, down 2-0 against the Clarion-Goldfield-Dows Cowgirls, the two-time defending North Central Conference champions. And boy, the Bulldogs really had opportunities there to win each of those first 2 sets, but lost set number 1, 25-23, after they had taken a 22-20 lead late, then lost the most recent set, 25-19, and again, that was one where Algona stayed within striking distance of Clarion-Goldfield-Dows almost the whole time, but a late 7-point run there for Clarion-Goldfield-Dows put a decisive margin on the Bulldogs. So we'll see if Algona's able to battle back here, stave off elimination in set number 3, or if it'll be the Cowgirls in straight sets here tonight. We are about to find out. As Algona will start off with the serve here, going from right to left on your radio dial.
Serving third set, number 15, Hilbert.
Maddie Hilbert will serve it right down the middle. The dig by Johnson. Now tapped over the net by Traub. Algona tries to keep it alive, but that one will go out of play, and Cowgirls will get the first point here in set number 3.
Kapka, hasty to serve.
And Kapka checks in for the first time here tonight for Clarion-Goldfield-Dows as Hasty will serve. Clarissa Hasty, with the Cowgirls leading 1-0, serves it as Hilbert digs. Now Solbach tries to set up Perry. Hard right-handed swing. Clarion-Goldfield-Dows partially blocks it, but on the scramble, Hasty can't save it from going out of play, and that ties us up at 1. We'll get another kill here for Alayla Perry, who's had a couple very nice kills here, especially in set number 2, and now to start off set number 3. And it'll be Etherington on the serve. Lane keeps it alive, and now Lane will play it over the net. Etherington to Perry. Perry right down the middle. Hasty, a lunging dig. Now she'll play a free ball over the net. Etherington setting one up for Elsbecker. Blocks, though, at the net, and there's a point for the Cowgirls. Kapka had her mitts all over that one, and it is 2-1 in favor of Clarion-Goldfield-Dows.
Number 12, Turcha. Traub to serve.
Traub to serve here for the Cowgirls. Right down the middle, Hilbert kind of mishits it, and having to race and track it down for Algona is Ray. Bulldogs able to play a free ball over the net, though. Now an attack here, blocked the net by Perry, but it deflects over onto the Algona side, and that'll be a point for Clarion-Goldfield-Dows. Well, Perry almost got that one, but it kind of deflected sideways on her and stayed on the Algona side, so it's a 3-1 Cowgirl lead. As Hilbert digs on the back line, Perry, a little tapper over the double block, and she scores it. That one had red paint all over it as she was able to get that one on the sideline and keep it in play, make it 3-2 here. And side out for Algona as Ray will be on the serve now. Ray sends it towards the back near side. The dig by Hasty. Up front, they set up the attack, and there's the score. Turka on the kill that time. 4-2 after that nice kill by Turcha.
Lane to serve.
And Lane will be on the serve now for the Cowgirls. 4-2. Lane of the jump serve. Sends it towards the back far side. Perry sends it high in the air. Hilbert plays it over the net. It'll deflect sideways, and that one will go out of play. That one looked broken there from the start for Algona as Perry kind of had to lunge there towards the back line to keep it alive, and then the ball deflected sideways once it was played over the net by Hilbert. And now we'll get a service ace here for the Cowgirls. So 6-2, Clarion-Goldfield-Dows, as they've now run off here 5 consecutive points. Lane continuing to serve. Serves to Perry, has to make a diving dig that time. Elsbecker sets it up front. Algona able to play it over the net with Carroll. Now the attack blocked at the net, and Clarion-Goldfield-Dows unable to recover as Lily Elsbecker records the block on that one. So 6-3, Algona breaks up that little scoring run. And Layla Perry now to serve for Algona. Perry sends it towards the back. Dug out by Hasty. Now the attack is blocked at the net by Price for Algona. Cowgirls keep it alive, though. Play the free ball over the net to Ray. Up front, setting up as Etherington, trying to kill it as Price, but she plays it into the net, and she's frustrated with herself that time. Maybe tried to do a little bit too much there and ended up hitting too far downward on the ball. And it's 7-3 in favor of the Cowgirls. Lehman checks into the game, and now she will serve here for the Cowgirls. 4-point lead here in set number 3. Algona trying not to go down in straight sets here. As Elsbecker digs the serve, Etherington sets it up for Price, sends it towards the near side for the Cowgirls. They keep it alive, though. Into play, Perry. Up front, Etherington setting up the attack, and there's the kill from Kaylee Carroll. Well set up that time to the near side for Kaylee Carroll, and just able to weave that one in between those backline defenders for the Cowgirls. Make it 7-4. Cowgirls still leading it here, and now Tora Solbach will serve it for Algona. Solbach the jump serve down the middle, and a couple Cowgirls bump into each other. And Algona will get the point here, as 4 hits are going to be called against Clarion-Goldfield-Dows. Well, on that back line, Askelson and Lane both went for the serve. They bumped into each other, and that threw everything off that time for the Cowgirls trying to return that serve. Ended up with 4 hits. Algona ends up with the point. It's 7-5. Cowgirls still leading, as Solbach down the middle to Askelson. Lehman sets it up. Algona digs that kill attempt. Now another attack, but it's blocked at the net. Turcha there appeared to be the one who blocked that one as Etherington went for the hard right-handed swing, that time standing, though, about 11 or 12 feet back from the net, and Turcha was able to set herself up for that block, making it 8-5. Perry receives the serve. Algona sets it up for Carroll, plays it two-handed over the net. And now a free ball here from the Cowgirls coming to the Algona side. Solbach setting it up. Little soft touch over the net from Etherington. Cowgirls return it, though. Solbach digs the return. They'll set it up again for Etherington. Takes the hard right-handed swing, and that one glances the back line, and it's in. Point there for Algona. Make it 8-6 now. Bulldogs down by 2, hanging around early on here in this third set after the Cowgirls went on that 5-point run. Sophie Degner in for Algona. Cowgirls play a free ball over the net. Perry High in the air to Solbach. Solbach sets it up, two-handed over the net by Degner. Now the Cowgirls set up their own attack. Hard right-handed swing by Traub, and she'll get the kill as that one just off the hand of Perry. Perry tried to reach out towards her left, but just not able to get enough of that ball to set it to any of her teammates. And it's a 9-6 Cowgirl lead. Now Indy Johnson serves it. Ray digs for Algona. Degner over the net. Cowgirls set up the attack here. Blocked to the net, and there's a point for Algona. Price on the block. Boy, she's had a couple really nice blocks here so far tonight, and she records another one there. Make it 9-7. Clarion-Goldfield-Dows still leading it. Algona still hanging it around as it's side out for the Bulldogs. Here's Hilbert. Line drive serve over the net, dug out by Johnson. Askelson trying to play a free ball over the net. It trickles off the net. Solbach able to play it, though, for Algona. Attack set up for Perry, and Perry's going to get the kill. She put that one into the attack zone with too much heat to be returned that time. 1 point game here, 9-8. Algona still trailing at 2-0, but trying to win this third set, extend it to number 4. Hilbert on the serve. Hasty. Now to Lane. Lane puts it over with one hand. Solbach tries to dive and dig it, but she can't quite dig that one out. And there's another point for the Cowgirls, making it 10-8.
The Cowgirl lineup number 5.
Nikki Kapka checks in. Harley Lehman checks out for the Cowgirls. And Hasty will be on the serve here. Serve dug out by Ray. Now they'll set up the attack for Perry. And that one is launched way out of play that time. Boy, that one almost hit the back padding beyond what would be the baseline in the basketball court on the fly. That one's a good 15 feet or so out of play that time. Cowgirls on the serve again. Ray digs. They'll set up another attack for Perry. Tries to power it through the double block, and there will be a point for Algona. As we'll get a lift here called against the Cowgirls. That time, it appeared to be Traub up front, as well as Kapka going up for the double block, but Perry just hit that one so hard, just powered it right through those two. 11-9, the Cowgirl lead. They'll play it over the net. Effrington hits it backwards. Algona scrambling. Perry plays a free ball over the net. Cowgirls set up the attack here. A little soft touch, and the score from Summer Traub. Traub didn't go for a hard right-handed swing that time. Kind of just poked it over for the right hand coming to the near side and found a vacated section of the volleyball court to make it 12-9. Tersa serves to the back far corner. Ray to Perry. Algona scrambling, punching it over as Elsbecker. Now Cowgirls on the attack. Here's Lane, partially blocked by Algona. They keep it in play. Perry has to play it over the net. It rolls on top of the net, goes to the Cowgirl side. They're able to play it, though. Now soft tapper over the net. Perry, little side tapper over the net for Algona. Cowgirls have Lane on the attack. Towards the back line, Hilbert, tapped by Ray. Hilbert has to play a free ball over. Down the middle, Hasty digs. Played over the net again by the Cowgirls. Perry towards the center to Elsbecker. Plays it over again. Now Hilbert sets it up. Effrington. Effrington to Degner. Gets it back to the Cowgirl side. They dig it out. Lane towards the back corner. Ray digs for Algona. They set up Perry. Soft touch over the net. Dug again by Lane. Now the attack set up for Lane. Goes for the right-handed kill, and this time she gets it. That one was tipped on the block attempt at the net and then tipped again as Hilbert went along that baseline, trying to just keep it in play for Algona after that long volley back and forth. Longest one we've seen so far here tonight. Cowgirls get a well-deserved point as on the left-handed attack, Elsbecker dug out by the Cowgirls. A couple players bump into each other as Lane has to play a free ball over the net. Ray sets up Perry down the middle. Hard right-handed attack, and she'll score it. Hasty couldn't make the diving save that time. Had a good effort there. But Perry gets yet another kill for Algona. Make it 13-10. That is the Cowgirl lead right now, and Ray will be on the serve here for Algona. Ray down the middle. Johnson digs. Up to the front. Tapped over with two hands by Lane. Algona scrambling a little bit. Carroll plays a free ball over. Diving save that time from Hasty. Now the right-handed attack from Tertia, and she'll score it. We've seen a couple really nice volleys here the past couple of points, but both times Clarion-Goldfield-Dows just outlasting Algona here. As Lane with the jump serve towards the near side, Hilbert digs. They'll set up the attack here for Carroll, dug by Lane. Little two-handed touch over the net by Clarion-Goldfield-Dows to Kapka. Now Algona plays it back over. Kapka sets up the right-handed attack for Johnson. Algona sets up now Perry. Right-handed swing into the net, though. And there's a point for Clarion-Goldfield-Dows, as that was going to be 4 hits anyways for Algona. So 15-10 is the Cowgirl lead, and the Bulldogs will spend a timeout here, trying not to let this one slip away. We'll take a timeout as well, and be back with more third set action next here on Hometown Radio. Back here in set number 3 is Algona currently trailing at 15-10. They're also trailing 2-0 right now against the Clarion-Goldfield-Dows Cowgirls. Lane on the serve. Cowgirls on a little bit of a run here as Perry returns the serve. Now we'll set it up to Perry. Right-handed tapper over the net. Cowgirls receive it though. Played back over that time by Johnson. Now Ray sets up Perry. Hard right-handed attack. Blocked at the net though by Kapka. Scramble here for the Cowgirls. They'll play a free ball over as Effrington now up front. Elsbecker, left-handed attack. Dug again, though, by the Cowgirls. Hasty. Carroll blocked it back over the net. Hasty digs again. Now playing a free ball over his lane. Algona can set up an attack here. They're looking for Carroll, and she's able to get the kill. Much-needed kill there for Carroll. And that long rally goes in Algona's favor, make it 15-11. Bulldogs still trailing it by 4. They lost set number 1, 25-23. Lost set number 2, 25-19. As Perry serves it, sends it down the center. Played over by the Cowgirls, then tapped back over by Algona. Johnson over to the Bulldogs side. Ray sets up the attack from Elsbecker. Dug out, though, by the Cowgirls, as played back over again by Johnson. Now Perry setting it up for Carroll. Floats one over with the right hand. Johnson up to the front. Played back over by the Cowgirls. Now the attack here from Elsbecker. Dug by Lane for Clarion-Goldfield-Dows. Playing it over again is Johnson, but she'll hit it into the net, and there will be a point for Algona. Boy, the last 4 or so points, we have seen some extensive volleys here between these teams. Intensity really ratcheting up here in this third set, as it's now 15-12. Addie Askelson checks into the game for the Cowgirls. Johnson sits down. Perry on the serve towards the back middle. They'll set up the attack here. Right-handed swing by Turka. Dug out, though, from Algona. Now it's Elsbecker. She's on the attack, and she's able to get the kill. That one tipped out of bounds by the Cowgirls. And just like that, Algona has trimmed this margin down here. They were down 15-10. Now 15-13 on the scoreboard. Perry serves it down the middle. Here comes the play from the Cowgirls. They get it back over to the Algona side. Elsbecker sends a free ball over. Cowgirls set up the right-handed attack, and getting the kill is Turka. Turcha's had a couple nice kills here, and it's 16-13 in favor of the Cowgirls. We have just seen a common theme here tonight. Really, each set, every time Algona gets it down to 1 or 2, the Cowgirls have been able to answer and extend that lead once again, just as they do here. 16-13. Lehman now on the serve for Clarion-Goldfield-Dows. She'll send it near side, back corner. Ray digs, set up to Elsbecker, blocked at the net, and there's a point for Clarion-Goldfield-Dows. Make it 17-13 now. As I believe that was Hasty who got the block that time. And Lehman will be back on the serve here. Lehman hits a little knuckleball, and that one will go out of play. Mishit that one to the near side, and that was about 6 inches out of bounds towards that near sideline. So give the point there to Algona, 17-14, and Bulldogs go side out here of Tora Solbach serving. Solbach the jump serve, and she'll hit it into the net. So the two teams trade service errors here, and it's 18-14 in favor of Clarion-Goldfield-Dows. Now it's Brooke Askelson on the serve. Sends it towards the back left corner to Perry. Up to the front to Solbach. Sets up the attack. Blocked, though, from Efferington at the net. Algona keeps it alive. Another attack coming from Carroll, and this time she's able to get the kill as the diving Lexi Lane couldn't dig that one out. Strong attack there through the back line of defense by Carroll. And it's 18-15. Algona won't go down easily here. Side out for the Bulldogs. Carroll on the serve. And that one will hit the net and deflect out of play. So that's going to be another key service error here for Algona. They've given the Cowgirls a couple points here lately on those service errors. And just like that, Clarion-Goldfield-Dows back up by 4. It is 19-15. Johnson on the serve, and now she'll have a service error. She launches that one too far. 3-point game once again, and these teams just trading service errors back and forth here in set number 3 now. 19-16, the Cowgirl lead. Algona serves again. Here's Hilbert. Down the middle. Up front, Perry tries to block it at the net. Algona keeps it alive. Now an attack here from Perry. Oh, and they joust it at the net, and Cowgirls are going to get a point here as a lift is going to be called against Algona. Well, a simultaneous block there. Perry got in there. Tough to see the number there for the Cowgirls, but I believe it was Traub. Her and Perry just kind of met at the top there in the joust, and Cowgirls ended up getting the point. 20-16. Solbach sets up the attack, playing it softly over the double block as Efferington, but the Cowgirls recover and return it. Now Ray sets it up to Degner, into the double block. It's mishit, and that'll go backwards out of play. Well, that one was initially tipped by Kapka that time, and Hasty, or excuse me, not Hasty, but I believe Traub on that one kind of mishit that one, and that one just flew backwards and out of play. Make it 20-17 as Algona gets it back down to a 3-point deficit. Ray digs for Algona. Now Hilbert. Bulldogs will have to play a free ball over the net here. Efferington. Attack coming here from the Cowgirls. Instead, they'll go for the soft touch, and Traub able to get the point that time, just dropping it right over that front line of the Algona defense. Make it 21-17. Traub will be on the serve. 21-17 Cowgirl lead. Algona get ready to return the serve here as Elsbecker plays it over with 2 hands. Now a right-handed attack from Lane, but she swings it right into the net. And that's a point for Algona, 21-18. Again, I think Lane might have mistimed her jump a little bit on that one. Ended up hitting it into the net. Algona still down by 3. As now, kind of an awkward play there at the net, and a point for Clarion-Goldfield-Dows. As I don't think Carroll thought that one was going to stay on the Algona side. The ball kind of drifted right towards the net. She laid off there for a minute and tried to save it there at the last second, but couldn't play it back over. Cowgirls up 22-18. Perry up to the front to Elsbecker. Now Carroll. Askelson over to Johnson. She'll play it over the net to Algona. Set up the attack here for Perry. Hard right-handed swing, and she's able to power that one through the block for the point. Kill there for Alayla Perry. Turka unable to block it, but grazed her finger that time. That couldn't have felt too good if the full swing there coming from Alayla Perry. And it's 22-19. Perry down the middle. The pass up to the front, and playing it over and scoring it is Nikki Kapka. Kind of an awkward-looking play there. She turned her body sideways. Almost looked like she kind of shoveled the ball over the net that time, but just right down the line and able to record the point as Algona calls a timeout. 23-19, Clarion-Goldfield-Dows leading it here by 4. And again, they are 2 points away here from taking this third set and sweeping it in straight sets over Algona. Algona desperately trying to fend them off here tonight. And boy, it's been a valiant effort so far here from the Bulldogs. They've kept each of these 3 sets close, and again, you can make an argument, regardless of the outcome here tonight, all 3 of these sets so far, Algona has had a legitimate chance to win them, but so far just haven't been able to find a way to finish off these close ones yet. So it'll be Cowgirl serve here coming out of the timeout. 23-19 lead, they need 2 points. Lehman serves towards the back to Ray, plays it off her chest. Now Perry to Carroll. Carroll plays a free ball over the net. Lehman sets it up. The attack to Turka. Algona able to dig it though with Etherington. Ray plays it over. Askelson digs. The set here for Hasty. Plays it softly over the net. Now Ray for Algona. Sets it up to Elsbecker. Takes a little half swing, and that changeup works as Elsbecker's able to get the point there for Algona, making it 23-20. Well, she wound up there like she was going to take a full, hard left-handed swing and kind of slowed up her hand there at the last minute. That threw the timing off of the Cowgirl block, and Elsbecker was able to use that change of pace there to perfection. Side out here for Algona. Solbach on the serve. Jump serve goes down the middle. Askelson digs. They'll set up the attack here for State. Algona keeps it alive, though. Carroll now plays a free ball down the middle. Lehman will get called here for the lift, I believe, and yes, that'll be a point for Algona. 23-21. Back-to-back points here from the Bulldogs. Can they work their way all the way back into this one? Solbach again. Towards the back far side. State on the dig. Now they'll send it back to State. Plays it over with 2 hands. Solbach to Perry. Perry trying to send it up front. A little bit off target, though, but Etherington able to play it over still. Now Perry back up to the front. Solbach sets up the attack. Right-handed swing, Etherington. Dug out, though, by Askelson. Now a soft 2-handed touch on the other hand from Turcha. Algona digs it, though. Now Price with the right-handed attack, but it's right into the net. 24-21, point Cowgirls. And Clarion-Goldfield-Dows 1 point away here from winning it in straight sets tonight. And Algona fend them off here one more time. Askelson on the serve. Down the middle, Ray digs up to the front to Solbach. Here comes the soft 2-handed touch from Elsbecker. Back over the net, and a point for Algona. So they do keep it alive one more time here. 24-22, sign out for Algona. Carroll will be on the serve. The net dug by Perry, though. Etherington trying to keep it in play, but she can't reach it. And that's the game point for Clarion-Goldfield-Dows. They take set number 3, 25-23, and they sweep Algona here tonight in straight sets. Boy, valiant effort there from Algona. And trying to save that one was Etherington at the last minute. That ball was towards the front left side of the court. Etherington almost had to reach around the net to a certain extent and try to guide that one back into play, but that was nearly an impossible task. Wasn't able to do it, and Algona comes up short here against a tough opponent tonight. With the loss, Algona will drop down to 3-7 here as their record. With the win, Clarion-Goldfield-Dows improves their record to 7-1. And again, hats off to the Bulldogs here tonight. You expected a tough fight of Clarion-Goldfield-Dows and the type of resume they have with what they've been able to do